Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So I am having like severe Disney withdrawals right now. It has been way too long since I've been, and I've just been thinking about the parks, and even though that they are very different right now, I just wish that I could be back. So thinking about the parks and everything that you get to do when you're at the parks, I wanted to do a little video about some interaction tips, things that can help you out when you're going to Disney World, not just right now, but anytime that you go to Disney. Little interactions that can be really fun and can help make your vacation even more magical. So the first little interaction I'm going to mention is with cast members. Every cast member has a name tag, and every name tag has where that cast member is from. Now, unless you see a Chris or a Pat from Orlando, those are typically reserved for, hey, I forgot my name tag and I need a replacement name tag. Then that is going to be where that cast member is from. Usually if it's a college program person, it will have their college or university, and if it is not a college program person, it will just have the city and state or the country of origin. Wherever that person is from, it will be on their name tag, as well as any other languages that they speak. If they have taken the proficiency tests, that's something to look for on their name tags as well, is the little plaques that hang underneath that will say if they speak French or Portuguese or Spanish or any other language. So if you are looking for a cast member that speaks your particular language, you can always look on their name tags to see if they have that listed, and then you know that you can converse with them in that language. But the point that I want to make with the name tags and the fun interactions you can have is take note of where people are from, because you will be amazed at how many people work at Disney World from where you are from. It does not matter if you are from the tiniest little town or if you are from a huge city. You will find someone more than likely that is from where you are from or from somewhere near there, and you can strike up a little conversation. And it's always just a fun thing when you are passing a cast member to say hi to them anyway. You know, they always appreciate being spoken to, not just like ignored as they're out there saying, hey guys, welcome, come on in. To just like look at them and smile is good, but to be like, oh my gosh, I went to that school too, then you have like a nice little bonding moment. I cannot tell you the number of times that we have been at Disney World and my dad has like sought out cast members that are from the state that we are from and been like, hey, what's up? And then like asked them about what school they went to and all that kind of stuff. What football team do you like? That kind of thing. And I lost track of the number of times that people saw the college that I went to when I was working at Disney, and they would make conversation about that, how the sports teams were doing, and what were you majoring in, and all that kind of thing. And hey, my son's going there in the fall. So that's just something really fun. You never know who you might run across. Some people have told me about times that they just happened upon people who they went to school with who work there now, and they were like, hey, I know that name, and I know you. Wow, yeah. So just pay attention to cast members' name tags and have conversations with them. If you happen to notice that they are from somewhere that you've been or that you are from, then, you know, bring it up. Have a little conversation. It's always nice to just have a little chat, and you may make a new friend while you're at Disney. My next one is about the Photopass cast members, and they are some of my favorite people because they take so many pictures, and some of my favorite pictures that I have of me and my husband are photos that cast members took for us, Photopass cast members. So always, if you see a Photopass cast member, it's probably a good photo spot, so like stop by there and have them take your picture. And if you've bought the is it called Memory Maker? Is it still called that? If you've bought all of the pictures, so you get your ride photos and you get every Photopass photo that the photographers take for you and all that kind of stuff, then definitely have them take pictures with their cameras. They're gonna have awesome settings. They're gonna know exactly how to adjust for the lighting, and it's gonna be great. But also, even if you don't have an annual pass or something that comes with the photos automatically, give them your camera. They will always, well, I'm not sure if during COVID they will. They probably don't right now, actually. But under normal circumstances, give them your camera. And they will use a phone, they'll use a regular camera, they'll use whatever, but they will snap a picture for you, and then you don't have to pay for those pictures because they just take them for you. The only caveat there, and the only thing that I would recommend as far as that interaction goes, is, you know, like ask them before you just shove your camera at them. Say, hey, could you also take a couple with mine? And they will almost 100% of the time say, absolutely, no problem, and they'll take it and they'll snap some pictures. The only thing with that is they are not going to adjust any settings. They are just going to point, click, shoot. That's it. They are not going to adjust your shutter speed. They're not going to adjust anything. So if you are someone who has kind of adjusted your own settings, you don't do it just like on auto. If you have your camera set up manually and you want to adjust lighting and all that kind of thing, maybe take it off of that unless you have stood there and you have figured out, you know, all of your settings that you want to have on there before you give it to them. Otherwise, they are just going to take the picture, and if you've got a shutter speed that's too slow or whatever, your picture's going to end up blurry. And so I just recommend adjust your settings before you give them the camera, because they're not going to do it for you. If you don't have it on auto, you might want to just flip it over to auto, and that's going to give you the best, like, middle of the road kind of shot for whatever the lighting and background situation is that you are shooting in. But just keep in mind that those Photopass cast members, their cameras, they've adjusted, but they're not going to do yours for you. And I could not talk about Disney interactions without mentioning characters, right? Character interactions are one of the main reasons that people go to Disney World, aside from the rides and the food and the everything. But characters are awesome. So the one thing that I would suggest, based purely on my own experience, is if you are taking your children and they are little, and this is maybe their first time going and meeting a character, don't start with someone huge. Yes, Tigger is cuddly and they may love Tigger on the TV, but Tigger is about 6 feet tall in real life. So don't just like assume that they are going to be cool with Tigger when he is taller than Daddy. So he can be kind of scary. And there's a lot of characters that are very tall and very intimidating for little kids. My sister loved Peter Pan. We both did when we were growing up. That was one of our favorite movies. That's a strange choice for a 90s child, but anyway, we loved Peter Pan. So when we went to the park one time, my sister was like 2 or 3 years old. She was very small, and we saw Captain Hook, and I was pumped because I have always loved a villain. Being bad looks good. So anyway, I was like, yes, Captain Hook, let's go see Captain Hook. So I go running up to him. My sister was terrified. Captain Hook is huge. He is over 6 feet tall, and he has a big hat. He's got all the regalia, and he is very intimidating. And my sister just about lost her mind not wanting to go see Captain Hook. So the recommendation I have is start with some smaller characters. Start with your Mickey Mouse, your Donald, your Stitch. People who are, you know, a little bit smaller, very cuddly, very sweet looking. They're not gonna, you know, don't start with a villain. Maybe, we've never been afraid of the villains, so I guess my parents were just like, yeah, they like the villains, go see them. But it was a little scary once you actually got up to them. So start off with Winnie the Pooh, Piglet. Some of the face characters are good options because they look more normal to a kid. It looks more like an actual person. So, you know, go see Alice. Alice is tiny. Tinkerbell is tiny. Go see some of those characters that are going to be able to like get right down in their on their level, get down to child size, and they're not going to be quite as scary as some of the really big characters, especially if they do have masks on. So those are just a few of my suggestions for some interactions that you should have when you go to the Disney parks. Have you ever had a really fun interaction with a cast member where you saw that they were from your city, or they went to the same school as you, or something like that? Let me know those fun stories down below. I always like reading those, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.